What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon466cards, and this is part 3 of my series examining the print runs and talking about the print runs for Prizm. I've mostly focused on basketball in part 1 and part 2, and as part of part 3, I'm going to look at Prizm Football. And as you may recall, in part 1, we looked at the print runs for serial numbered cards for Prizm Basketball, and it was just a straight line, except for 2016, basically a straight line up and to the right each year, increasing over time for serial numbered cards. And after 2016, they basically stopped being rare. And here is a very quick explanation on how I calculated the number of serial number cards every year. I just go to the checklist at Cardboard Connection and count them up. So this is 2012 Prizm Football. It's Gold's 10, Finite's 1 of 1, and Pylons out of 1. So that's 12 total, and you're done. That's 2012. 2013, we have the orange out of 50, purple at 40, light blue 15, gold 10, Finite 1. So that's 50 plus 40 is 90. 90 plus 15 is 105, plus 10 is 115, plus Finite is 116, and that's the number you will see for 2013. And that's how I did it. And I just do that all the way through till the current year. Now, my question for you is, take a second and think about what your prediction is for Prizm serial number cards in football. Do you think it'll follow the same pattern? Something different? Maybe same pattern, but maybe not as steep in terms of the trajectory. So I'll give you 3 seconds to think through your prediction, and let's take a look in 3, 2, 1. And, well, it's pretty much the same. You can see here they don't have that dip in 2016-17 as they did in basketball. Basketball, again, looked like this. In 2016, they had a little bit of a blip. In football, pretty much just a consistent line going up. And so similarly to basketball, hitting a serial numbered card in Prizm Football, it stopped being rare in 2016. As you can see, right around 900 cards for each player being serial numbered in the set. So that's an awful lot. And if you overlay the two against each other, basketball in green, football in orange, you can see it is pretty much dead on. Basketball was ahead of football for a while over the last few years, but football definitely caught up in 2022. So this might be a surprise to you, might not be, but it looks like Prizm, their parallels just keep on going up and up, and as a result, the number of serial numbered cards also increases with each passing year. And as if you may recall in part 1, and I'm going to link both of the part 1 and part 2 in the description below. In part 1, I talked about how Flawless is a set that has diamond cards that are serial numbered, and they have stayed essentially flat in Prizm Basketball. So now let's see what they look like in Prizm Football, or in Flawless Football. And as you can see, yeah, Prizm Football is just flooded with serial number cards. But compared to Flawless, you can see here, Football keeps on going further and further up in terms of the print run of serial number cards. Football Flawless, or Flawless Football, pretty much stagnant, right around 50 total cards. So to me, if I had to pick one or the other, and you can compare the price points, but I bet you a Prizm Silver PSA 10 of whatever rookie in the last 2 to 3 years, and you compare it to a Flawless Diamond card out of 20, out of 10, out of 15, the prices are going to be pretty similar. And if you're going to choose one, I think Flawless cards, just in and of themselves, look great, and layer this information on top of it, there's no reason why you don't go with the Flawless cards instead of the Prizm cards, especially if it's something like Prizm Silver, which there are many of. And Yeah, that's basically the video. That this is a trend in basketball that also is true of Prizm Football. And to really emphasize the point, as I did in part one with basketball, let's take a look at the ratio of serial number cards, flawless diamond cards versus Prizm serial number cards. You can see that it's a tiny fraction, literally 3 to 6% of Prizm's serial numbered card run is the number of diamond cards in flawless. And so to me, it's a no-brainer. If I'm gonna buy, unless it's like a Prizm Gold or something crazy like that, which is gonna cost you an arm and a leg, just buy a flawless diamond numbered card. They're super rare. There's only roughly 50 of them, and they're much less likely to have the fluctuations because of just the sheer lack of size, I guess, in terms of how many were printed. Whereas I feel like for a bunch of the Prizm serial number cards, at some point, the market is going to realize that they've just been flooded with them, and that it's not sustainable. Not all of these pink pulsars out of 42 and red powers and all these other cards, like they can't all have significant value, right? Some of them are just going to be destined to fall in price. So that's it. That's the video. Let me know your thoughts and comments. Were you surprised by the Prizm Print Runs for football and the fact that it basically is the same pattern as basketball? Or is that more or less what you expected? Everybody talks about overprinting for football or for basketball, but fewer talk about overprinting for football. So thanks to Dustin, the sports card dad, for giving me this idea for this video. And as we always do on this video or in my channel, we preview the next video, and it's going to talk about sticker autographs. We snuck in part 3 here before we put this video up about sticker autographs, and I have some thoughts about sticker autos and how we might be able to increase the value of those cards. So thanks as always for listening and watching, and I will talk to you all soon. Cheers.